Lockett to the show today. Now, Tyler, we did not intend to match, but here we are. And you, sir, are having one of the best seasons ever, on pace to shatter your personal receiving records. 53 catches, 615 yards, and 7 touchdowns through 8 games. Unbelievable so far. Of course, you guys, the Seahawks, are 6-2, atop of the NFC West. So what's been the key, really, to such a hot start this season?
I think the biggest key is just being able to stay together. I think that's really the biggest thing. Just because of this COVID stuff, like, we've really been able to increase our relationship. We've been able to grow more together, and we've been on the same page. The chemistry's been there. We've been building off of each other's success, and I think that's really what it takes for us to be able to be successful and just to be able to win as a team.
Tyler, you mentioned this chemistry, so I want to talk about your fellow receiver, DK Metcalf, who has been giving all the teams that passed up on him the Sunday scaries, quite literally. What have you seen in his development, and what has really impressed you as he continues to grow as a receiver?
Yeah, well, I think the biggest thing about DK is everything that he's doing. It doesn't surprise any of us that's been here, that's seen him ever since he's came in from day one. He's came in with a chip on his shoulder. He had a lot to be able to prove, and a lot of that went with how the draft took place. And I'm thankful that we got a chance to be able to get him. The way he's played, we've seen all of this in practice every single day. We've seen him be able to catch crazy type of balls. We've seen him being able to run after the catch, being able to use his body and just his build to allow him to be successful.
Something else we don't see is a duo the likes of you and Russell Wilson. What you two have created, the partnership you have out on the field, is nothing short of extraordinary. We see that week after week, but tell me about the stuff we don't see, that preparation, that leadership from Russ.
I mean, the biggest thing that I could say about Russ, and I tell a lot of people this at the same time, is when it comes to the mental aspect of the game, like, he's one of the best to ever do it. And a lot of it is because he visualizes himself. He puts himself into a place through his imaginations that allows him to be successful. He talks about unlimited minds and being able to take yourself to a place. And because of that, your physical naturally ends up having to go to that place because mentally you're at a place that maybe your physical never thought that it could reach. So just being able to step into these games with Russ, he's already played these games maybe 2, 3, 4 times in his head before we even stepped out on the field. And so now his game is matching exactly what he sees in his mind.
Ooh, so y'all are out here playing chess. Everybody's playing checkers. I like that. I hear you, Tyler. All right, first of 2 matchups with the Rams on Sunday. It's your first time to SoFi Stadium, first place on the line. Do you want to see Jalen Ramsey across from you? And what's it like? What's the challenge going up against a guy like that?
Oh, man, it's always fun just being able to play against Jalen. Like, he's in our agency. So just being able to play any of the guys that's in our agency, it's always a good look, and it's always a good opportunity to be able to play. The biggest thing is, I mean, we don't understand. We don't know what the Rams' game plan is going to be like, so we just try to put ourselves in the best situation that we possibly can.
Now, Tyler, you do so much important work in the community, off the field. Tell us what you have going on with Old Spice.
I got the chance to be able to partner with Old Spice, and they did this 10-year commitment plan to be able to increase the level of graduation for young men. And I think it's very important because a lot of people don't know how African Americans grow up. And the things that we experience as we grow up, the traumas, all the type of things that we have to deal with on a daily basis. And our graduation rate isn't that high. And so I think a lot of people don't understand what life is like for us back at home. And because of that, they don't understand what it's like for us to get the football in our hands when we're babies growing up, thinking that sports is going to be our way to be successful, or that the entertainment world is going to be our way to be successful. And so not only with this 10-year commitment plan that they're doing to increase graduation so that we can all thrive within our communities, but the other thing is they're partnering with the Black Boys film that allows people to see what life is really like for us, how it is for us to be able to grow up, and all the traumas and stuff that we have that we're still trying to learn how to heal from even to this day. And because of all the things that we're doing within Old Spice, it's basically saying it's time to change, and the time has now come, and we're trying to get everybody to get with it.
Ooh, Tyler, be one, see one, teach one, laying the foundation for generations to come. I love it. Tyler Lockett, thanks for joining us, and good luck this week.
Thank you so much. Hope you have a great one.
I think most of us would agree that every one of the quarterbacks you're looking at right here, yeah, that's a guy you could trust to lead your team. The question is, which of these guys has a team storyline for Week 10?
MJ, some great storylines on tap for this weekend. And let's start with a couple young guys. We all want to know where the future of the NFL is going. Well, we're going to get a chance to see that when Tua and Justin go head-to-head this weekend. And they've been doing it different ways. Tua just a couple starts, but he's been very efficient, getting the ball out of his hands, making the right play, and even some big plays with his legs. And then you have Justin Herbert, who has been all about the big play, pushing the ball down the field. And I know quarterbacks play against the opposing team's defense, but we always know who's quarterbacking the guy on the other side. These two guys, same draft class, want to prove that they're the star of that draft class. Number two, everybody's got to be excited about this storyline, and that is Alex Smith getting back under center as the starter. Been almost 2 years. We all know, well documented, the injury that he suffered. Would he ever come back? We've seen him play in some backup roles up to this point, but now to be inserted back into the starting role, to get a week under his belt, I am so excited for him and his family just to be back out there, to see him in that starting role once again. He's in the number 2 spot. And then the number 1 spot, we talked about a couple of those young rookie quarterbacks that have been playing really well. Well, this guy, to me, has been playing the best of the bunch, and that's Joe Burrow. He has been consistent week in and week out. I know it hasn't turned into a lot of wins for their football team, but they have been extremely competitive, and his ability to see defenses, decipher, and get the ball out of his hands has been second to none this year. So let's welcome in that Steelers defense that does a great job of confusing quarterbacks, making them think a little bit extra. So this is going to give us a really good gauge of how good Joe Burrow not only has been to this point, but how good he can be through the rest of the year. Can't wait for that matchup.
I know you're probably thinking that I'm only concerned about the Tua and Justin Herbert matchup, but I'm actually really excited and right there with you about Alex Smith. He's just a guy you can't help but to root for him. Kurt, thank you. And you can watch Kurt and the entire Game Day Morning Crew on Sunday, 9 Eastern on NFL Network.
Takes a snap. Here's the blitz. Tosses it out. It is picked off. He's going to take it to the house all the way. D-Hall for a touchdown.
Snap to Rodgers. Look,
gonna love this. It's Bills Mafia. Tre'Davious White. All right. Tre'Davious is gonna be going up against DeAndre Hopkins. And I tell you what, I like D-Hop in this. I've always been, a guy who rocked with the defense, but I gotta go D-Hop. D-Hop is coming off a game in which he had 3 receptions on 3 targets. Come on, man. You gotta put this dude more in your game plan, man. And Kyler Murray, he did all he could in that game against the Dolphins. It's gonna take him throwing the football to DeAndre Hopkins. I'm telling you, the Buffalo Bills cannot defend Kyler Murray and double DeAndre Hopkins. They gotta pick their poison. And I think they're gonna try to contain Kyler Murray. And by doing that, D-Hop is gonna free himself up, baby.
Wait, who you taking again?
I'm taking D-Hop.
Okay, man, my dude is taking the wideouts. I'm just making sure I heard that correctly, man. I'm just making sure I heard it correct. My defensive back, lockdown corner, D-Hall is taking the wideout. He's taking Hop. And I absolutely agree, man. He gets so many opportunities. He's coming off a game where they didn't give him a lot of opportunities. This is his game. They're going to let him go to work. Kyler Murray going to be looking for him.
Kurt, is they lose one, they win 3.
That's what they're in Cap's job. MJ, back to you. He finally agrees with me.
Guys, thanks. In support of the league's Salute to Service campaign, the NFL Network is committed to sharing the stories of our nation's service members, veterans, and their families. Jessica Astorga of Dayton, Ohio, served in the U.S. Air Force in some of the most dangerous places in the world. Now her work with the network of women's veterans earned the appreciation of her favorite player, a legendary former QB for the Colts and the Broncos.